Dricus Du Plessis defeats Sean Strickland via unanimous decision. Zhang Weili defeats Tatiana Suarez via unanimous decision. Tallison Teixeira defeats Justin Tafa by TKO at 35-second into round 1. Crute and Rodolfo Bellato fight to a majority draw. Jake Matthews defeats Francisco Prado by unanimous decision. And Israel Adesanya versus Kelvin Gastelum was inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame Fight Wing. Alright, UFC 312 is a wrap, so let's take a look at what went down. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. Aussie vet Jake Matthews kicked off the main card with a smooth professional performance against Argentina's Francisco Prado, setting the stage for a big night for the home crowd. The 30-year-old, who's been in the UFC since he was 19, was just too fast and polished for Prado, who was making his welterweight debut. Matthews landed the cleaner shots, used his size and experience to control the fight, and never really let Prado find his rhythm. With the unanimous decision win, Matthews now has back-to-back victories for the first time since 2020. This kind of showing should keep him moving up the ranks and could land him a bigger name next time out. Gilbert Burns was excited for the fight to start, saying Prado versus Matthews should be a good one. Welterweight Michael Morales said, "Congratulations, boy." Neil Magny said, "I was itching to get back in there. Thank you, Jake Matthews. UFC, let's make it happen." Next up was Crute versus Rodolfo Bellato. Crute and Rodolfo Bellato went to war for 15 minutes, trading bombs in a wild scrap that ended in a majority draw. Crute took advantage of a Bellato mistake in the first round, getting top position and smashing the Brazilian before dropping him late and nearly finishing the fight. The second and third rounds were pure chaos. Bellato hammered Crute's lead leg, while the Brute fired back with heavy shots, but neither could fully pull ahead. When the scorecards came in, one judge gave it to Crute, but the other two had it even, resulting in a draw. It was a brutal back and forth battle, and with the way these two fight, they're bound to put on more wars in the future. Henry Cejudo was excited for Crute's return, saying, "Excited to see what Crute can do in his return to the sport," and then said the first round was a 10-8. Chase Hooper also thought the first round was easy to score for Crute. Here are some other reactions to the fight. Up next, Israel Adesanya versus Kelvin Gastelum was inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame. Israel Adesanya versus Kelvin Gastelum from UFC 236 will be inducted into the Hall of Fame's Fight Wing as part of the class of 2025. Dana White called it one of the greatest fights I've ever seen, and it's easy to see why. Adesanya and Gastelum went to war for 5 rounds, trading knockdowns and momentum shifts in an all-time class. Gastelum came out strong early, landing big shots and pressuring Adesanya, but the last style bender turned up the heat, scoring multiple knockdowns and sealing the win with a dominant 5th round. Adesanya won by unanimous decision, claiming the interim middleweight belt before unifying the title 6 months later by knocking out Robert Whittaker at UFC 243. This fight remains one of the greatest in UFC history, and its Hall of Fame induction is well deserved. After being inducted, Israel reacted by saying this.
Watching that one back and this surprise here tonight.
It was a surprise, definitely. And yeah, watching it back, I'm surprised I just kind of kept my composure, my emotions in check, and I was just being present and being grateful for the moment. And again, I want to say thank you to Kelvin, because it's not just me. It takes 2 to tango, and he's a great dance partner. It means a lot. At first, when they said, I was like, man, I'm too young. I'm still fighting, you know? But then when they said it was for the fight, I was like, okay, that's a classic, instant classic, so I respect it. I remember Kevin being a hard man to kill. That was definitely a thing, but I also felt, well, like I said, I'm ready to die, and I was really trying to kill him, but again, without him, this wouldn't be possible, so I'm really, really grateful to you, Kelvin. And again, without him, I wouldn't level up to who I am now as a man, not even just as a fighter, as a man, because that moment right there, that fight right there was one of the greatest moments in my life, top 3. And I will forever be grateful to Kelvin for those moments.
What are the top 2? Because this is pretty incredible.
Nah, there's personal moments, so not just fighting. I say in my life, those are like, honestly, top 3, top 5, one of the best moments I've ever had. And yeah, I'm just still kind of in shock. So I just have to let it sit and take it all in.
Kelvin responded saying, "Thank you, Israel Adesanya, for a classic battle that is now cemented in the UFC Hall of Fame. You're a very special individual, and I'm very thankful our paths crossed. All glory is for God, who strengthens me always and forever. Amen." The two actually caught up afterward on FaceTime as well.
Hermano, no, we did it. Congrats to you, man. Hey, it takes two to tango, and you're a great salsa partner, man. Thank you so much. That's what I said on the mic, on the camera when they put it on the screen. I was like, Kelvin, that was us. That was you and me, hermano. My man. Yes, sir. You're a special human being. I'll see you in June, yeah, for the ceremony. I think so. For the Hall of Fame ceremony in June, we'll get our jackets in that. Yeah. My man, I'll see you soon. And that was dope.
If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe. If you don't, you'll miss out on daily MMA news and people will think you're a casual. Next up is the very short fight between Tallison Teixeira versus Justin Tafa. Welcome to the UFC. Tallison Teixeira, the towering heavyweight, wasted no time getting to work, closing the distance and smashing Justin Tafa with a brutal elbow that sent him crashing to the canvas. A few follow-up shots later, and the fight was over. A dominant debut from the 6'7" Brazilian and recent Dana White Contender Series grad, who stays undefeated at 8-0 with all first-round finishes. He's still raw, but Teixeira is definitely someone to keep an eye on in the heavyweight division. Here are some fighters' reactions to Tallison's win. Who do you want to see Tallison Teixeira fight next? The co-main event was up next between Zhang Weili and Tatiana Suarez. Zhang Weili is still the UFC strawweight champ, delivering a dominant and tactical performance to hand Tatiana Suarez her first career loss. Suarez started strong, taking Zhang down early and controlling most of the first round, but Zhang turned the tide, finishing the round on top and never looking back. She outstruck Suarez on the feet, stuffed countless takedowns, and even took the challenger down herself, racking up control time and landing big shots. This was a statement win for the two-time champ, who has now defended her title 3 times in her second reign. With the division nearly cleaned out, Zhang is cementing her legacy as one of the greatest in women's MMA history. Here are some reactions to the fight. After the fight, Weili was seen with strawweight legend Joanna.
Oh. Finisher, we can. Of course. Dinner. Of course.
Henry Cejudo suggested that Zhang needs to move up to flyweight and challenge Valentina Shevchenko to become double champ. Is that the next fight you want to see? And finally, in the main event, Dricus Du Plessis defeats Sean Strickland in a dominant performance. Dricus Du Plessis defended his middleweight title and settled his rivalry with Sean Strickland, outworking him early before breaking his nose and pulling away late. The first 3 rounds were competitive, but Du Plessis landed the bigger shots as the fight played out entirely on the feet. In the 4th, he cracked Strickland with a clean right hand that shattered his nose, leaving him covered in blood heading into the final round. From there, the South African stayed in control, picking Strickland apart to seal the win. All 3 judges scored it for Du Plessis, who stays undefeated in the UFC with his 9th straight win and extends his overall streak to 11. With this chapter closed, the big question now is who's next? Khamzat Chimaev and Nasruddin Imavov are both waiting in the wings. Here are some reactions after Dricus' dominant performance. Khamzat Chimaev chimed in tweeting, "Biggest bullshit is this fight." Bilal Muhammad said afterwards, "I can be double champ pretty easily." Nasruddin Imavov jumped in saying, "With all respect, I'm ripping off your champ. I'm already ready, anytime." After the fight, it seems Dricus and Sean showed each other respect.
It was like this, and you just went, and I went for like 2 minutes just trying to...
Yeah, dude, I broke it, and I was like, well, in the movies, they just set it back into place.
I saw you trying, and I was like, wrong way, man, wrong way. You went like this.
No, I felt it. I said it, and the crazy thing is you shot on me again, and dude, your nose just touched in. You fucking broke it.
I saw it when the brother
Hey,
gave
at the
it.
end of the day, man, we talk about shit, but you're a bad motherfucker. Best in the world.
You can't go down.
Best in the world. I gotta go to South Africa, man. I've actually been to a Durban once. I love it. Is that your woman? Hey, I don't want my bloody, but you got a bad motherfucker right there, man. I appreciate it. Whenever you're toughest African I've ever met. Put it right here really quick, guys. Thank you.
The champ has many options between Alex Pereira, Khamzat Chimaev, and Nasruddin Imavov. Dricus said after the fight, he talked to Alex Pereira about a potential fight at 205 pounds.
I think he's the greatest. I think he is the best, and it will be an honor to share the cage with him. And as I walked out, he came up to me, and I looked and I said, "Hey, man." And he said something in Portuguese, and I said, "No, I don't understand you." And his coach said, he asked, "Did you call me out in the octagon?" And I said, "Oh, yes. Yes, I did." And he said, "Okay, make it happen." And I said, "Oh, okay, well, make sure you beat Ankalaev, because it's a tough fight for him stylistically, but I'm sure he can do it." And I said, "Of course, I have a next fight, you have a next fight, and we can make it happen." He said 205. I said 100%, let's do it.
But he was adamant that Khamzat Chimaev is first.
To you, and he came to
No,
you.
Hamzat's first.
Hamzat's first.
Hamzat's first. No, I wish him, I said, please beat Ankalaev. No hate against Ankalaev. I just want to beat Alex Pereira. It's nothing personal against Ankalaev. It was just Pereira. He's such a legend in the sport to me already, that it would be amazing to beat him for my legacy. I want to be the greatest to ever do this. But Hamzat's next. Khamzat is next.
He even joked about his game plan for Khamzat.
How much of a challenge is he, do you believe? And how do you see yourself beating him?
Jeez, guys, you don't give a guy a break. Just think about fights. Jeez. Counter the jab. Oh no, that was Strickland's game plan. Let me think about something. The blitz, no. Rob. Yeah, I'll just out-wrestle him. Yeah, that's a game plan. Yeah, sounds good.
Overall, UFC 312 was a success and had some banger fights. Comment below who you think DDP should fight next and what do you think is next for Sean Strickland. That's all for today. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more MMA content. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on the screen to get caught up.